Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome to 30 Days of Sketches Day 6. There are so many amazing scrappers playing with me on this particular day and all the other ones. We've got Moira and Crystal and Jen and Daisy who are attempting to join us every single day, which is so cool. And then of course everyone else, so I know Liz is joining in and JQ Crafty is joining in, and there's so many. I'm afraid to list like that because I'm gonna forget somebody, so I'm so sorry if I did not say your name for today if you're playing, but the links will be below, so please make sure you head on over and check out what everyone's doing. So before I go live or put you on fast forward, I want to talk about my plans for today. So this is a pretty basic sketch. I love these type of sketches because it gives you the freedom to really interpret it how you want and make it your own. So I've got my photos, and this is the hardest part for me is I do not take photos that go horizontal, hardly ever. That is not my style of photography because I take all my photos on my phone, as I think most of us do nowadays. And so normally they end up like, a vertical like that. Now I've got these two that are the right way. And this one I'm just gonna I was covering it up trying to see if I can make it work. And there's gonna probably be Jackson's shoes trimmed off or something, but I think I can make this a 3x4 the right way. So I've got my photos and I love these photos. They work perfectly for the idea. And what I'm debating over, and you'll see because you'll watch the rest of the video, is I don't know if I want to use these three little hearts that would work perfectly in the example that you can see with the sketch, or if I'm going to do these three butterflies. They are about the same size, so that part's not going to really be the factor. It's how the vibe I want to kind of explain through the layout. So what the photos are is the moment we got to our Harrison and we did our vacation, I took a photo of the gorgeous view and then the kids waiting as we were getting Barrett ready and just making sure everyone had sunscreen, and we had everything. So it was too early to check into the hotel. We were just going to explore and all of that. And this is them getting out of the car. They really don't go very far, so this hour and a bit drive was quite a bit for them, and so they're just stretching their legs and they're just so happy to be here. So that's what it is. And I'm thinking about using this word adventure ready or adventure waits or something along those lines. Maybe roam far and wide, I don't know, but something along the lines that we finally made it and we're so excited. So that's what the photos are. My plan for the middle spot there is either these hearts or these butterflies. I'm just not sure where. As you can see, I will be using this gorgeous collection from Paige Evans on the scenic route that I received from Scrapbook Your Joy, guest designing using this collection. I've done multiple layouts with it already for the month of September. If for any reason you've missed them, I will leave those linked below as well, below everyone else that's playing along for today, just in case you're curious to see what I've done with this collection so far. And now let me get you on fast forward and let's see what I can create. The first thing I'm going to do is cut down that photo and make sure it's going to work. And it does thankfully work perfectly. I get just enough where I don't actually cut anything off. I don't even think I cut off Jackson's shoes. So yay, that worked perfectly. And it's neat because it's a little bit more of a zoomed in look versus the other one where it's a little bit farther out. So it's actually a neat perspective, I feel, just a little bit different. Laying the photos there, and then I'm like, I need to figure out my photos, my pattern paper. So I'm gonna do a border. I really love borders. It's almost a go-to thing now, especially with white cardstock. I'm finding with my style, I tend to go to white cardstock. It is normally my base for everything, and I find it can be a little boring in the sense that there's nothing to it. So I tend to then go and use a background border that has a pop of color to help everything tie in together, and it's like a little flavor of what the rest of the layout is going to look like as to why I do it like that. So I've got that there, got my photos, laying them down, trying to figure out what I want. I originally cut that piece a little too it's too wide, so my photos are almost being overpowered by the red, so I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. maybe not exactly like the way you see it in the sketch, but I'm going to make that work because I come up with another idea to stretch it out just a little bit in the end, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Sometimes I find layouts that tend to be center focused like that, I almost feel like I need to trim them and make them like 9x8s or something. I just struggle sometimes with this type of orientation of scrapping and everything right centered in the middle and nothing going on the outside and stuff like that. Border helped for sure, but sometimes that's still not even enough for me, but we'll get to that part in a minute. I'm playing with these butterflies. I got them all fussy cut out. I found this butterfly pattern paper. I'm going to use this as that banner you see there. And then nothing's connecting. I'm having a huge struggle with the fact that the butterflies almost don't work with these photos. And yes, they're free and they're stretching and they're spreading their wings, I guess, as they get out of the car. But the connection to that from the vacation and it being kind of our first thing, nothing was flowing for me. So I kind of have to find a way to make this all work. I thought I'm going to let that be, work on my title, see what I can come up with. I'm loving these pre-made words and sayings and everything for this set of layouts that I'm creating for this vacation. It's working perfectly. So I've got the word start here. I'm also going to find, I think it says the perfect day, and it's in that pink, which is great. It's a nice little pop of color. And because this is a vacation and it's all sorts of having fun and everything, having this pink mixed in with layouts, photos of my sons or Sean, it works because it's just about being out in a bright vibe versus, oh, there's pink on a layout. So I'm loving it. It's working exactly the way I want it to. I laid that out there. I'm good with that. I like how that looks. I'm still struggling a little bit. So I'm working on the tags that you can see in the sketch. There's a little banner up in the left-hand corner there. So I'm trying to make that work. It's not. I'm like, I don't know. So basically what ends up happening is I throw up my hands and I walk away from it. Sometimes this is the best thing to do, is walk away and just think about it for a minute, see what you can come up with, and then come back to it. And as I was doing that, I was watching Daisy because I love to watch her layouts. And I came up with the idea of maybe tags would work. Daisy has been in this kick where she has gotten tags and then put her title on top of it. It's a really neat look. So that's going to be where I go with it. But to make the layout stretch out a little bit more, because like I said, I have an issue with everything being centered, I'm going to do a little tiny bit of mixed media in blue. And I chose the blues because it's like the water. So the layouts, the photos are of them, the scenery is the water. So I felt like having water as my mixed media and laying on top of that red, the contrast is just gorgeous, but it really gives that watery vacation type feel that I'm trying to go with. So that's what I end up doing. I'm really happy with this. Now, it was a risk because I wasn't actually sure how it was going to all come together. But once you can see I'm using my little toilet paper thing to soak up a little bit of it. So it was light and airy, and that was perfect. So, okay, I've got everything that I need to do. Now, what am I going to do? I decided to turn this into just one little banner instead of like a trifle. I don't know what you call that, but there's only going to be a banner thing on one side. I go and I stitch in black. That always helps. It grounds everything. It kind of connects everything together. Oh, okay, that was a good idea. I'm going to pop up the red pattern paper on fun foam so there's some dimension going on. And then I'm going to lay my photos flat. Now, normally my photos would probably be on the fun foam and that red would be flat on its own, but I really wanted that dimension between the red and the mixed media to shine through. So that's why I chose to do it that way. And here's my idea with that daisy technique where I'm doing the tags, and I'm going to use a couple more banners there. And then I found this boarding pass, which is just a piece of ephemera. And I'm happy with this. So now I'm going to come in and finish it off. And what I do is I add some florals in a couple places, and I find just a few little bits and pieces to tuck in to kind of finish it all off and give it a nice grounding and make it feel like every piece is where it's supposed to be. I also end up trimming my photos a little bit so that they all stay inside the lines of the stitching that I did. I kind of went in a little bit on the stitching on my red pattern paper, so this kind of helped it all stay within it, and you can see the stitching and my photos, and nothing was lost. I had a little bit of room on each side of the photos to make that work, so that's perfect. And it kind of wraps itself up like that. This layout was a struggle. I like simplistic sketches. It gives you the freedom to do what you want, which is so fantastic. But sometimes for me, it's almost harder because I don't want to take away the simplistic beauty of the sketch, but I have to make it work for me. And so you can see it's getting busier and busier because I keep adding things. That's just my personal style, and I make it work for me. So I'm going to put my journaling where that document this is. I also add the word awaits in green, so there's just another pop of a color there. A couple tickets at the right hand bottom side there, so it's got a nice little teeter-totter balance of flowers and embellishments and all sorts of stuff. And there you go. If you are interested in purchasing this collection, I believe you can still get it from Scrapbook Your Joy, and really, if you're Canadian, it's $75 and it's free shipping. I know that it's quite quick to get from the States as well. She's great with that, so check that out. Here's a look at my finished layout, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.